Erev Tov Rabotai, we are continuing with our Mishna Yomi, Masechet Ketubot. We're up to Perek Bet, Mishnah Chet. Today's Mishnayot should be Leilu Nishmat Neria ben Svetlana, Ranbai Eliyahu ben Burcha Yisrael ben Chana bat Miriam, Menuchatam began Eden, Amen, and Avdi ben Chaim Nechaim for the Refuah Shelema of Daniel Shalom ben Rosa, Betoch Shayachut Yisrael. The Tana of yesterday's Mishnah ruled that the testimony of a single witness is good enough to identify another man as a Kohen. This Mishnah cites three other opinions. Rabbi Yehuda says, En ma'alin lecheuna al pi ed echad. We do not raise a man to the keuna based on the testimony of just one witness. Rather, two witnesses are required. The second opinion, Amar Rabbi Elazar said, Ematai, when are two witnesses required? B'makom shesh orerin, when people are challenging someone's Kohanic status, meaning two witnesses testified that a man who was assumed to be a Kohen is in fact not a Kohen. Now this man was assumed to be a Kohen because his father is a Kohen. Two witnesses testified then that he is disqualified from the Kehunah. For example, they said that his mother was a divorcee. The son of a Kohen and a divorcee or any other woman who was forbidden specifically to Kohanim is a Halal. Despite the fact that his father is a Kohen, a Halal is not a Kohen at all. He has no more sanctity than an ordinary Yisrael. In that case, two witnesses are required to counter the testimony of the challengers and return him to the status that he enjoyed before he was challenged. But if there are no challengers against him, we raise a man to the keuna even upon the testimony of just one witness. Meaning, if the man's status is unknown, one witness is enough to identify him as a Kohen. Like the Tana of yesterday's Mishnah, Rabbi Elazar holds that one witness suffices to establish a man of unknown status as a Kohen. Nevertheless, their opinions are not exactly the same. The Tana of the previous Mishnah said that even when two people testify about each other, their testimony is accepted. Rabbi Elazar, however, did not say that two people can testify about each other. In his view, such testimony is unacceptable because they might have agreed to testify falsely on each other's behalf. The third opinion, Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel Omer Mishum Rabbi Shimon ben Asgan. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel says, Rabbi Shimon, the son of the deputy to the Kohen Gadol, Ma'anin lecheuna al pi ed echad. We raise a man to the keuna upon the testimony of one witness, even if two witnesses challenge his Kohanic status. Meaning, the testimony of a single witness can combine with the testimony of another single witness to counter the testimony of two challengers. Even though the two single witnesses testified at separate sessions of the court, their testimonies can be combined, making it as though they testified together. The following example can be used to illustrate the ruling of Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel. A man was known to be the son of a Kohen, but a rumor circulated that his mother was a divorcee. The rumor sufficed for him to be removed from the keuna while the matter was being investigated. One witness then testified that the rumor is false, thereby restoring the man to his original position, because one witness certainly sufficed to dispel a rumor. Later, two witnesses asserted that the mother was indeed a divorcee, disqualifying him again, for two witnesses are stronger than one. Following that, another single witness testified that the mother was not a divorcee. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel maintains that although the two defending witnesses testified at different stages, their combined testimony cancels out the testimony of the two challengers, and the man goes back to his original Kohanic status. The previous Tana, Rabbi Elazar, disagrees. In his opinion, the testimonies of the two defending witnesses do not combine with each other, since they were not given at the same time. Therefore, the two challengers prevail, they win, and the man is disqualified from the keuna. And the Rav does tell us, V'alacha ki Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel, the halacha follows the opinion of Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel, Sha'idim mitztarfin af al pi shelo idu edutan ke'echad, that even though the two single witnesses testified at separate sessions of the court, their testimonies can be combined, making it as though they testified together. That is in the Mishnah Chet. Now, if a married woman commits adultery, God forbid, she and her husband are biblically forbidden to live together. There's a difference in this regard between a Yisrael, meaning any Jew who is not a Kohen, and a Kohen. If the husband is a Yisrael, she becomes prohibited to him only if she acted willingly. But if the husband is a Kohen, she is prohibited to him even if she was violated against her will. This Mishnah, Mishnah Tet, discusses whether a married woman who was imprisoned by idolaters must separate from her husband out of concern that she might have engaged in illicit cohabitation. The Mishnah begins, this is the law of a woman who was imprisoned by idolaters. If they had imprisoned her because she owes them money, she is permitted to her husband, even if he is a Kohen. In this case, it is assumed that the jailers did not violate her because they would be afraid of losing their money. The Mishnah refers to a time and a place in which the Jews had the upper hand and the idolaters submitted to their rule. The jailers would be afraid that if they unlawfully violate this woman, they will be punished with the loss of the money that she owes them. However, if they had imprisoned her because she was sentenced to execution, she had committed a capital crime, she is forbidden to her husband even if he is not a Kohen, because in that case she might have agreed to cooperate with the jailers in the hope of persuading them to spare her life. The Mishnah states the law for a Kohen's wife was in a town that was invaded by foreign troops. If a town was conquered by an army, all the wives of Kohanim were found in the town are prohibited to their husbands because they might have been violated by the soldiers. The wives of the Israelim, however, remain permitted to their husbands because we do not suspect them of having committed adultery willingly. The only concern is that they might have been violated against their will. If there was a safe hiding place in the town, any woman can claim that she hid there and was not attacked. So the Rav explains even the wives of Kohanim, then the Rav discusses that even the wives of Kohanim would be permitted in such a case. However, if they have one, as the Miri explains, if they have one or more witnesses who testify that they were not violated, even if the witness is a Canaanite slave or a maidservant, the witnesses are believed and the wives of the Kohanim remain permitted to their husbands. Although a slave is usually disqualified as a witness, he can testify on behalf of a woman in a town that was militarily occupied. He can also testify on behalf of a kidnapped woman, like we explained earlier. The Rav explained on Mishnah 6. But a person is not believed to testify about himself, meaning a woman cannot testify about herself that she was not violated. The Mishnah illustrates the last ruling with a story about a Kohen and his wife who lived through a foreign conquest of Yerushalayim. Amar Rabbi Zechariah ben Akatzav. Rabbi Zechariah ben Akatzav, who was a Kohen, said about his wife, I swear by the temple that her hand did not leave mine from the moment that the idolaters entered Yerushalayim until they left. Therefore I know that she was not violated. Amrulo, the rabbi said to him, and Adam me'id alidei atzmo, a person cannot testify about himself, meaning your testimony cannot be accepted because it is like you are testifying about yourself. As Emily explains, a man and his wife are considered as one person, ishtoch gufo, therefore one cannot testify about the other. And that is an abotai of today's Mishna Yomi. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen v'amen.